See, this is why we do live.
Ooh.
12 Major League Baseball players caught for PEDs, 11 now under suspension except for A-Rod, who's fighting it and may end up banned for life. This week sucked for Yankee fans. As much as I do love that, they do have to deal with this douche, so I feel kind of bad for him. Obama announced that he wants to shut down Freddie and Fannie Mae despite record profits. This week sucked for anyone who owns stocks in these companies, which does include me and Adam, who's over there running the TriCaster. So that's Streaming Garage when it goes down. Blame Obama. And it's Shark Week. This week's Discovery Channel decided to air a fake documentary about Megalodon. This week sucks for science. You remember Discovery Channel used to be real?
I do.
Now they're like reality. They're reality drama, and apparently 70% of those who watch think Megalodon is real, and 40% believe that he fathered Kim Kardashian's baby. Ha ha ha. Those are the big news stories. Now for the important stuff. Why did your week suck? Oh, it's like delay of the music. We can never time that right. I gotta time that better. All right, we fade that down. If you can name that song, I'll give you $100. Not really. So welcome to This Week Sucked, episode 3. We're still working out some kinks and having some fun with this. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. If you're listening on iTunes, don't forget, we actually do this live as well, so feel free to join in live anytime. On Saturdays, I believe is what we're going to do, but to know exactly when, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/thisweeksucked, or at This Week Sucked on Twitter, and we'll tell you all about joining us live, where you can win fabulous prizes if you call in. It's really easy. It's a phone number. And what is that phone number, Kat?
It is 323-680-5483. 5483 is live. So 323-680-LIVE.
There you go. So feel free to call in if you'd like and tell us why your week sucked. And you'll win this week. You'll win a Starway DVD. I'll autograph it, and Adam will autograph it too.
Ooh.
But coming up, we have the full Leave It to Beaver box set.
Ooh.
Right? That's kind of cool.
Travis would like that.
Oh, all right. I thought Elaine was mocking me. And all sorts of other fun prizes. So there you go. So Elaine, why did your week suck this week? Let's start with you.
Well, my week sucked more than usual. My week always sucks. But this week it sucked more than usual because I was sick. I had the summer flu. I apparently...
Summer flu?
Yeah. I called my doctor and she said it's a virus that's going around. So I had some kind of summer flu. But I was so sick that I really couldn't do anything. I was in bed, and when you're in bed, you know what you want to do. You want to lay in bed and watch TV. On Friday, if I'm not mistaken, Time Warner Cable took away Showtime, CBS, Channel 2, Channel 9, all of the other Showtime channels.
Oh, no, you lost all your CBS, and now you can't watch Fat Guy with Hot Wife show, sitcom?
No.
Isn't that like every sitcom they do?
No, but I was surprised how much I do look at CBS. I was surprised that in the morning when I wake up, since I can't stand Good Day LA anymore, I have it on when Let's Make a Deal starts with Wayne Brady. And I was like, oh, shit. No more Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady. So I was pretty depressed about that.
Really? You watch Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Wow.
It's kind of like Let's Make a Deal meets improv kind of a thing, and Wayne Brady's got a couple of sidekicks and a DJ, and all right, that's
I hear
sad.
that guy's a horrible guy. I've heard really bad stories about him.
I don't know. He seems pretty
He's coming
nice
on
to
next
me.
week, so we'll ask him. No,
All right.
No, he's not.
Ooh, Wayne Brady.
He's not coming on.
he kills in Vegas as far as sales.
Yeah,
I mean,
course.
people go crazy to see him in Vegas.
Yeah.
But mainly with the CBS part of it, it was Under the Dome, because I do watch Under the Dome. Mm-hmm. Now, which is a very interesting part of this whole thing, because I'm pissed off primarily at Time Warner, because number one, CBS was willing to keep the shows live while they were negotiating, but Time Warner said no. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot, because independently, Under the Dome, which is the number one rated summer series right now, made an outside deal with Amazon. So if you're an Amazon Prime user, which I am, you can watch it the following Friday. It airs on Monday.
Wait,
you can watch it
so
on
you
Friday.
actually watch Under the Dome?
Yes.
I tried watching one episode. It was horrible.
It's not horrible.
Oh my God, it was horrible. Like, I watched it with my dad, and my dad's like, I really like the show. And then it was like the fourth episode, so my dad's like, wow, why do I like this show? And he watches crap like two girls in a donut shop who laugh at each other with bad jokes or whatever the hell that dumb show's called.
It's classic. No,
What's that show called?
No. Two Broke Girls.
Oh, right.
Two Broke Girls. It's the
Two
worst
broke
thing
girls
ever.
who can't act. Two broke girls who are reading cue cards the entire show.
Yeah,
on a
that's
sitcom.
the worst thing ever. But Under the Dome is not. Under the Dome.
Oh, I tried watching it. It was horrible.
I mean, look, it's not cable. It's not Breaking Bad. But what it is classic Stephen King miniseries type of thing. If you watch Tommy Knockers or any of those that they made in the miniseries, and it is Stephen King. It's from Stephen King, a short story or a novella or something that he wrote.
Right.
It stars the guy who's Hank on Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
who's the lead on that, and I love him.
Saw that.
Even though I forget his name.
Which probably means he dies first episode.
No. He's
dead.
Yep. No.
Spoiler alert.
No, he's still alive.
No. First episode of Breaking Bad. This coming Sunday.
Oh.
Dead.
No. I don't believe that. I believe that the last 8 episodes of Breaking Bad are Hank hunting
Well, we don't get to
his
that.
brother-in-law.
So it turns into a Dexter show. Only hopefully better. That's what sucked too. Try watching Dexter this season. Woof. That's bad.
Here's the thing. Also cut out with this deal with Time Warner is Showtime.
Oh, you're not missing much. So therefore, your week didn't suck. You were lucky.
Well, I had watched the first few Dexters, and I have to say I was underwhelmed. I get a text message from Travis's daughter saying, "Did you see Dexter this week, or do you have Time Warner?" I'm like, "I have Time Warner." She said, "Oh, it really picked up, man. It was really good."
What?
That's what she said.
Well, I guess compared to.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
And by the way, if you're wondering, I mean we do shows here at Streaming Garage. We do Stupid for Dexter, and we don't do it anymore. People wonder why. It's because we got burned. Like 4th season was amazing. 5th season we did. It was 6th season was and then 7th season was pretty okay, and then 8th season's like meh. So we still watch it, but
one of the problems was that was the best seasons were before we started to do it. So based on how good the Ice Truck Killer was, based on how good Trinity Killer was, we said let's do Stupid for Dexter, and then we got the Lumen.
Yep.
Season.
And that could lead me to why my week sucked, and we can go back to yours. We'll weave in and out. Is that I can't talk too much about it, but I know a lot of people know we're trying to bring Stupid for Movies back.
Right.
And I'm starting to tell more now on Facebook that there are contract negotiations that have been going on for like 8 months, and it just sucks. We're really excited to be doing it. We're really excited to be working with this company, but the contract negotiations, like anything, are a pain in the ass when you start bringing legal in. But the reason we don't do shows like Dexter anymore or anything is we do it for money. And we're getting money for Stupid for Movies, and we convinced Mark and Wade to come back like 8 months ago. We had a whole big phone call, begged them to come back, convinced them to come back, met their demands. Everybody's really excited, and I've been trying to get the contract done ever since. So every week of mine sucks because of that, and I can't really talk about it for legal reasons. Oh, God, there's our cold.
Sorry about that.
Gross. We need a cough switch.
Know,
we have a cough switch, but we didn't get around to it. That's probably as much as I can say, but understand the stress that I completely am under because we have 2 hosts, TriCaster, cameras, I don't know, like 6 to 8 people, especially me and Elaine, who work our ass off for 3 or 4 years for free. This is our bread and butter, waiting for this to happen.
I understand, because I hear all the time, complaints. There's still a fan base for Stupid for Movies.
There's a huge fan base.
And they complain to me.
It's the best fan base.
And they feel like, we abandoned this.
No,
we have not abandoned
we're
this.
back.
Mike and I, especially, have been breaking our ass to get this thing back together. And putting it together and packaging it so that it is... so that it's ready to go. So we're ready to go. We're ready to go, and I'll be thrilled. I need the work. I want the work, and to be able to do something like Stupid for Movies, which I did for free because I really love the show, is everything that I want to happen. So on our end, Streaming Garage's end, we want this thing to go, and we can't wait to bring it back.
Yeah. So anyway, so you're Time Warner, which is pretty stupid. Why are you Time Warner? It's really expensive compared to DirecTV, while everybody else is unplugging the cord.
Yep.
Like, why Time Warner? It's horrible. That's like something my mom would do because, they called me and it came in a package with a phone.
First time I'm more backward in my viewing habits than your dad, and now my purchasing power is about the same as your mom. People in their 70s, by the way.
What the hell's that mean? Why is so you don't buy anything?
No.
You're moving to Florida? What's your purchasing power?
No. Well, you're saying I choose to purchase Time Warner
Yes.
Cable. That is absolutely not true. When I moved where I live now, which is by the beach, there are two providers. One is DirecTV, the other one is Time Warner Cable.
Right.
But
And
if
Dish
you
Network.
are well, Dish I wouldn't take because they took away
Major League
AMC.
Baseball. Sure, Major League Baseball.
And AMC.
I don't know what that is. Major League Baseball.
AMC is
I
Breaking
know,
Bad,
I
Batman,
know.
etc. Okay. So when I moved into this unit, I didn't have the choice of DirecTV, which I've had before and was happy with. I mean, they're all the same at the end of the day. But if you're not facing the right direction, you can't have the dish.
Right.
So that leaves me with Time Warner having essentially a monopoly for everyone that isn't facing the, correct.
So you're not allowed to put the dish somewhere else? Like some places you can put the dish other places.
No, I can put it on my patio, but my patio is facing in the wrong direction. Okay.
Okay.
So that leaves me with no choices. So with Time Warner Cable, and don't think I haven't been looking, for other options, especially this week I've about had it.
Right.
But I have no
Illegal
other
options.
options. Right. So right. Now the other thing that you mentioned was cutting the cord, which I do watch so much through my Roku and, so much on my iPad and other ways. But the thing that stops me from cutting the cord, and I think this is true for a lot of people that are, really into particular TV shows, is I don't want to wait. And unless we really start getting into, a lot of tricky business, tomorrow Breaking Bad comes back. If I cut the cord, that's it. I'll see Breaking Bad when, this final season comes out in another year from now, or 6 months from now when it comes out on Amazon.
Wait, you
or
still have
Netflix.
Breaking Bad right now. They didn't cut Breaking Bad from Time Warner.
No, no.
Okay.
That's AMC. That's something different. And that's what I'm saying. So that's why I didn't cut the cord. So you say my two choices are to go with a satellite dish. I can't. If I cut the cord, no Breaking Bad tomorrow. So.
Right. By the way, let us know how this sounds in the comments on YouTube because we just took out the whole ceiling tiles. And now we have a big ceiling in the streaming garage, thanks to Adam. So I'm curious to see if it sounds any different.
Way to go, Adam.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we have so much more space in here. We are ready to go.
I don't know. Okay. I'm not sure. Well, we're doing a fantasy football show starting Thursdays.
Yeah.
Not live, but it will be up on iTunes every Friday. Okay, so Time Warner, big monopoly. If you have any thoughts, please write them in the comments or call on in, and then we'll answer your comments about what you think. Are you getting burned by Time Warner as well?
Or are you pissed off at CBS? Because this went. There was a step 2 in this. Step 1 was out of the blue, despite CBS saying we'll keep the programming live. Time Warner shuts it down. So I go, okay, I'll go to CBS.com or I'll go to, Showtime Anytime and watch it through one of my other devices. Next thing you know, CBS says, if we check and your IP address is coming from a Time Warner cable subscription, you can't watch online.
All right, we got a caller. I don't know who it is, but let's take the call.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
And who's this?
How are you guys?
Welcome to the show.
I'm sorry?
Welcome to the show.
Why, thank you for having me.
Sure. Who's calling? What's your name?
Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne.
How are you?
Good. Do you have a story of how your week sucked this week, or are you a Time Warner person as well?
I sort of both. I'm not a Time Warner person, but I agree with you about Under the Dome, which my friends and I all kind of likened to the Simpsons movie, where they were trapped under the dome. We keep sort of waiting to sing the
Yeah,
Spider
that's
Pig
right.
song. So
I forgot about
agree
that.
with you, Mike. It's not the world's greatest show.
Right. I mean, is it? I guess the
Wrong.
question is: it as bad as Revolution?
No.
Yes.
It is,
No.
right?
I dislike
No.
Revolution also.
Right.
So
Here's the weird thing. It literally is hey, we're going to compete with Showtime, HBO, AMC, but we can't really, for some reason, all our dialogue's still going to be really poor.
Okay, let me. No. It's
And
not
also
as
just,
bad as Revolution.
I have Dish Network, and we do have AMC back.
Oh.
So you
That's
could
interesting.
switch, and you could have AMC. So there you go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Richie G says we sound great, by
I
the
agree with you. I think Time Warner is sort of in the wrong on this whole thing. I think they're losing a lot of subscribers because I see a lot of Dish Network and DirecTV trucks in the neighborhood in the last
Well,
week.
here's the deal. You can't beat Les Moonves. in the end, he will not give in. And I think Sam Simon was somebody was talking that Sam Simon was saying this. I forgot. I just read an article about that. There's a simple rule in Hollywood: do not go up against Les Moonves, who runs CBS. You cannot win. So we've seen this before with other like NBC or I forgot what, or AMC got cut off from something. You know, Dish, right? And usually those things end pretty quickly, but CBS is going to go, well, we don't care.
Well, it usually never gets to this point.
Right.
Which is why I'm so surprised that of all, they pick CBS and Les Moonves to choose Time Warner, to choose to actually shut it down.
Yeah, and also, like Mike was saying, you know, so many people are moving away from either doing satellite dish or cable. This sort of seems like the wrong time to do that. Like,
oh, yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, this is going to be an interesting, you know, this will definitely be something that goes down in history of, oh, because this happened, this happened. You know, whether that means they're finally going to offer a la carte. Will CBS be the first smart one to go, you can buy CBS for Roku for $9.99 a month?
Well, that's everybody's saying no. Everybody's saying no.
They need to.
But
just do it already.
No, the big winners in this are not going to be the cable companies, the satellite companies. The big winners in this are going to be Amazon, Netflix, because individual shows are going to make individual deals, like Under the Dome, which they made a deal with Amazon. So you're 5 days delayed, 4 days delayed off of the over the air. But they're the ones that are going to win. I mean, they're winning already. Netflix is winning already with Orange is the New Black, you know.
Well, yeah.
House of Cards.
House of Cards. These are all new networks. I mean, that's all I keep saying. You know, people say they're web. I'm like, they're just networks. They're all new networks. And everybody's going to take the HBO model. Showtime already is. I think even... not Cinemax. No, there's another like Cinemax that's also having originals now. Stars having their own originals. Yeah. And that's the thing. When you look at Under the Dome, it can't compete, and there's a simple reason why. It's the same reason TV went down in the 90s. MBAs started coming in and took over creative because they were answering, and they always were. I mean, TV was created for brands, but they really started answering brands, and MBAs came in and forget the creative, who cares? We just want to get the views that makes Procter & Gamble happy. And HBO doesn't worry about that. Netflix won't even release their numbers. They don't care. And that's where creatives can now go.
And then the new role of the showrunner. It's like...
Yeah, right. The showrunner is actually the showrunner.
Yes.
There's no network notes. And the interesting thing is, sorry to get off because I really want to hear why Suzanne's week sucks. Sorry, Suzanne. But Suzanne, I know, is an industry insider as well, so she can probably add to this. But... that's the thing. The network notes don't exist, and when the internet started, I was like, "This is the place for creative. This is where we can get away from reality shows." Turned out, not so much, because the only thing that gets views are vloggers on YouTube who appeal to 11-year-olds. For God's sakes, people, you need to make that stop so we can actually get some creative going here on YouTube and everywhere else in the web. But the creative instead is going to be, once again, the multi-million-dollar, $100 million, productions like House of Cards. Creative, the cream still rises to the top. The professionals still rise to the top. Yes, there's room for little artists, but in the end, it's the professionals who will still, unfortunately, win out, or fortunately, because I was really hoping that the internet would be a place for really smart things you couldn't do on network. And it's interesting to see the new model is, nope, that's HBO, that's Showtime. That's Netflix, that's Amazon. Amazon's just bad at marketing because I don't even know what's on Amazon. I have Amazon Prime. They're just releasing everything at once, while Netflix has very smart marketing. Amazon does not.
But remember that Netflix is still Netflix.
I was going to say, I don't think HBO is as good as it used to be. I mean, I watch Showtime more than I watch HBO's original programming at this point. Real Time with Bill Maher. I watch
Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, I watch Game of Thrones, and then I get rid of HBO.
No, Boardwalk Empire is excellent. Boardwalk Empire.
It lost me after the first season, but I mean, I like Shameless and Nurse Jackie, and
me too. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think they needed the Borgias, but
I started with the Borgias and then I let it go. I did. I think I did the first season with the Borgias.
Well, I want to know why Suzanne's week sucked.
Why did my week suck? Well, let me tell you. So my week, it's almost like a week and a half, but because it's sort of like the days are running in together. But my life is like a Gallagher show at the moment. That's at least how
smashing watermelons. Okay.
Okay. So I wrapped a show. So I'm getting excited. Okay, I'm going to get a little rest because it's been a bunch of intense weeks delivering a pilot. And so my landlord approaches me and says he wants to repipe my apartment. And I really said, can we not do that this was last Thursday. I said, can we really not do this weekend? I really need a break. No, we have to do this. And I live in like a pretty old building. I've been in the same place for a number of years. So I finished work on, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday. I had one day to get ready for my landlord to show up with these workers coming in. Also, my dog has not been well since like Mother's Day, and we couldn't really figure out what was wrong. He just had been to a specialist. We were waiting for test results to come in. I wake up Friday morning knowing I got to get the whole house ready for these workers, right? Because I've got these strangers that, you know, with my luck, my landlord found at the Home Depot parking lot. Got to get the house ready. And so I get up and I feel horrible. I'm like physically ill. My throat hurts. It almost feels like I have strep throat, but it's not strep throat, but I don't have time to go deal with it.
Which is massively going around.
Yes. So I get up to go run errands to get what I need to get the house in order and have to go pick up some medication for my dog. So I go to the vet. The vet wants to see me and talk to me, comes out in the waiting room and in front of everyone informs me that the test results came back and my dog has a cancerous tumor.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So, and this is my baby. He's 14 years old. He's my only real family, but yet I'm also getting this news in a room full of people, so I'm not having a chance to process. And the guy's insisting I bring Muggsy back for more tests, all this other crazy stuff. I'm feeling sick. I'm losing my voice as the day is going on, so I can barely, like, talk. It, like, hurts, and I'm emotional, and have to come home, look at my dog, try to figure out, you know, in my head, what am I going to do? Have to get ready for these workers. That's Friday. So Saturday morning,
Yikes.
I wake up. I'm sick as a dog. But my landlord comes in with 7 workers, none of whom speak English.
Oh,
and I
nice.
have no voice. They proceed to demolish my apartment, repiping from kitchen to bathroom, which are on separate sides of the apartment. There's dust everywhere. I have less and less voice. I don't even have a squeak. I feel more vulnerable than anybody should ever feel.
Shouldn't they be putting you up somewhere and taking care of that?
You would think, right?
Yeah.
And all my possessions are here too. So what am I supposed to do? There's no one to help me. The dog and I are existing on a small square of the couch. The guy's finished for the day, and I live on the ground floor. And there are 7 holes in my walls and the floor, which just go down into the ground. And I'm like, aren't you going to, like, cover those holes? And they're like, no. So I'm, like, afraid sleeping in my apartment. You know, I'm sick. I have no voice. And, like, my apartment is exposed to the outside world. Cut to, it's now Sunday morning.
So there's actual holes that go to, you could see outside.
Yes, you could see.
And what were they
underneath the
fixing?
house. Yeah.
What were they trying to fix? The pipes?
They were repiping.
Okay.
So I get up Sunday morning. I'm even sicker. Shocking, right?
And now your
My
house is full of
doctor-
glory holes.
Right. Luckily, my doctor and his wife are my friends on Facebook. So I sent them a message. So I'm talking to my doctor. I can hear my doctor talking to me on the phone while I am IMing my responses because I have no voice, and he's screaming at me that I shouldn't have stayed in the house. I've made it worse. I have no voice. I have no squeak. They need to put me on heavy antibiotics, and Mike, you know me, I don't like to take drugs to start with. But I also can't leave the house to go get the antibiotics because my landlord shows up again with the 7 workmen.
Oh, my God.
Who are, by the way, very respectful. I started trying to pretend I was in the movie Under the Tuscan Sun because they didn't speak the same language and they would just point at stuff. This goes on all day. They patch up the holes, they leave. But, of course, now I've got, like, these holes, and my apartment hasn't been painted in 13 years. So my landlord and I make this deal. If I go buy the paint, he'll pay the painter because I didn't. What are you going to do? You're going to paint over a hole? It's going to look like I have polka dots.
Wait, so he poked holes in the wall, and now you're supposed to be paying for the paint?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
I'm trying to be like good people with him. You know, my rent. I have a good rent. I've had a good relationship with these people. I'm trying to be fair.
Is there a law that he doesn't have to take care of that?
Apparently not in the city of Los Angeles. I've checked because I thought he did too.
Not
Yeah.
painting, but
holes.
Holes that lead to the outside?
Well,
Yeah,
he
that's
covered
sorta
the
weird.
holes, and he could have covered it with whatever paint he wanted, but it wouldn't have matched because the paint was, 13 years old.
Right. Oh,
So-
okay. But yeah, but was he willing to do that for free? Was he like, look, I'm going to paint over the holes, but not my problem after that?
But it wasn't going to look like anything, so that's why it was like, all right, I'll buy the paint, you pay the painter, we're okay. So that's Sunday. So I'm still sick, by the way, still waiting to hear what we're doing about the dog from the vet, coming up with treatment plan. So it's already been a fun few days. I have, like, next to no voice, But I go and I buy the paint, Mark's Paint over at on Lankershim Boulevard. Great guys. Buy $300 worth of paint. Set up time with my landlord when the painter's supposed to show up. Painter's supposed to show up on Wednesday. Painter doesn't show up. Painter's working in another apartment in the building, says he's not coming today.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm still sick, by the way, through all this. Like, voice some days, not other days. You know, I just have these big, pieces of plaster in the wall. The day before the painter's supposed to show up, the landlord informs me that the painter has quoted him $600 to paint the apartment, and they're not willing to pay that. They'll pay, like, $200. I've already bought the paint.
Oh, my God.
So I'm like...
But he told you before to buy the paint.
My dog has cancer. I bought paint, and now my landlord is not really going to pay the painter.
Great. And you were trying to play the nice person by offering to even buy the paint. Like, I'll pay for it.
Yes. So
never be nice, ever.
Right. I'm learning this.
Yeah.
So then the painter shows up the next day. They tear apart my apartment, throw everything in the middle. But, like, there's no painting going on. The dog and I, he's a sick dog, we're trapped on, like, a small segment of the floor in the second bedroom because I've shoved everything valuable in the second bedroom. And, like, it's 3 o'clock before they crack a can of paint. They've been spending the whole day in another apartment. I'm, meanwhile, paying them, so I'm a little bit irritated by this. And
wait, these are the painters from
my landlord.
The landlord.
She agreed to pay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were just paying for the paint. You're paying for
right.
the painters as well.
Right.
This is a scam.
So it's 3 o'clock, and his 2 helpers definitely came from the Home Depot parking lot. So he kept threatening me all day. The painter kept saying, well, if you don't, because I kept saying you really should be working in my apartment. He's like, well, if you don't like it, I'll just leave. But meanwhile, he's poured all of my paint in his vats. So it's like I'm sort of trapped because if I say get out of here, he's already got my $300 worth of paint. So he leaves one helper painting my kitchen who's literally paints in squiggles, so the walls really don't get covered, but he goes through a gallon of paint. The guy comes back in and says, I'm going to use a sprayer. It'll go faster, which I wasn't really crazy about, but okay. He sprays 2 rooms in my apartment, runs out of 3 gallons of paint, so that tells you how much it wastes on that, says he'll see me the next morning. As the paint dries, it doesn't dry the right color. We that night and in the morning realized he must have mixed it with another color of paint. So I'm sick again. Remember, there's almost no surfaces I can be on in my house because everything is dusted, covered in the middle of the house. I'm still trying to figure out what to do about the dog who, is going to have surgery, and I'm emotional. And I'm here all alone. So I go and buy more paint. Guy shows up, and I said, look, you're going to have to redo this. It didn't dry the right color. And he goes, no. I'm like, what do you mean, no?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to paint the trim, and I'm leaving. I'm like, not if you want it to be paid.
Yeah.
He's like, no. And he starts walking around my apartment, doing whatever he wants to do. And I'm like, no. If you want to be paid, you're going to have to do what I asked you to do. And he goes, oh, I think there's something wrong in your head. And I said, you know what?
There's something wrong in your
head. Get out. What?
That's what he said? There's something wrong in your head?
Yeah, there's something wrong in your head, and just tried to continue to be in my apartment, and I'm like, which part, and if I had my full voice like I do now, I mean, Mike, you know me, this guy would not have been, I was 2 seconds from calling the cops on him the day before when he threatened me, and I was like, which part of Get Out do you not understand?
Yikes.
So, kick the guy out, but meanwhile, I'm standing in the middle of my apartment, with
You changed your locks, right?
What?
I said you changed your locks, right? So
they don't have keys.
Your landlord, your landlord does. They're his friends.
No.
Okay.
No. He doesn't realize that. No. So the upshot is I call everybody I know who's had house repairs, production designers, and I called Mark's Paint. And an hour and a half later, I did have another painter here, but the other painter, the one I kicked out, is working in another apartment on the property, so he keeps giving everybody dirty looks.
So it's like the ex-boyfriend living above you. It's very awkward.
Yeah. So that's what got us to today. And yet, 2 rooms were done. Still have stuff to go here. I have to pay this other painter because I did call my landlords after I threw the guy out, and they're like, well, we're not going to help you. I'm like, what do you mean you're not going to help me? And they're only contributing $200 to this mess. And when I told them that the guys already cost me 4 additional gallons of paint, they don't really care. And, and I just wrapped a show, and my dog has to have surgery, and I've been sick. And So that's why my week sucks.
Wow.
Well, it just seems like everyone surrounding you is
kind of calls.
hostile.
That's the
Are they
calls we're looking
hostile?
for, people.
Yeah, inconsiderate or hostile. From the vet
Yeah.
to the landlord to the painter.
Seriously. Oh,
But
my
I will
God.
give props. The vet who told me the news, he's a moron. He's not our normal vet. Although I love all the other vets at Sherman Oaks, and I do have to give props to the specialists over at A6 in Santa Monica who are now treating my dog. who's
That's
been
my-
nothing but emotional.
That place is treating my cat's cancer.
Which doctor do you have there?
Dr. Cohen,
Okay.
and she just gained 2 pounds.
Woo!
See,
Yeah,
we,
so she's doing
I
well.
spoke with a Dr. Downs. You and I will have to talk about that one offline because I'm not so sure. And Dr. Trivedi has actually been captaining Muggsy's care.
I have
and
heard
he's
of that
been-
name before. That's the only name I
He's
know.
amazing. Anybody, if you're in Los Angeles and you have an animal with a problem and your doctor sends you to
Well,
to
they're
A6,
they're the specialists in LA. They have like heart and internal and cancer. They're the whole specialty place to go if you have animals and then things are going bad. Your vet usually sends you over to there.
it is like taking your child to Children's Hospital. I kid
Exactly,
you not.
yeah,
And Muggsy has apparently made so many friends there. He has a team. He has a resident, which is apparently not normal. In addition to Dr. Trivedi, he has his favorite tech. He barked his way out of there the last time, and Muggsy doesn't bark.
Wow.
So
See, we don't have that
But yeah.
because, cats, nobody cares. And my cat doesn't care about anybody, which is why she's awesome.
But so that's why my week sucked.
Wow, I think that's a winner.
That's going to be hard to top.
Yeah.
And who knows what next week will bring.
Oh, good. Do you,
Because,
do,
you
do you
know.
want to vent? They're not listening. Do you want to go off on anybody right now other than just, I think, was that cathartic for you? Or do you want to, like, scream and yell at somebody? Feel free right now if you want to.
You know, I'm a little frustrated with the landlords. I've been a good tenant for a long time, and I've helped them out with some stuff, and I just don't think this is how you treat people after
agree.
this many years.
Well, that's an
you know?
interesting thing. That relates a lot to people who lose their jobs. I've been really good to this company for years, and they're like, meh. Like, that seems to be a
Yeah.
prevailing, like, 20 years ago, that was not the case, right? With our parents or anybody, they worked for somebody or dealt with somebody, whether it was, the bank or your landlord or your boss, and you have a long-term relationship, and people used to respect long-term relationships, right? This person's never done anything wrong.
Yep.
And that doesn't seem to be the case anymore, right? I mean, is that,
Well,
is it
no,
so
I agree with you. I
disconnected,
mean,
or?
I've just been in a situation where somebody is rewarding that, but the virtue of them rewarding that, my contribution doesn't get rewarded. So it kind of works both ways. It's like, I've been in a number of situations where, being the loyal and committed one and doing hard work is sometimes not rewarded as much as are you the dude I want to hang out and go to the pub with afterwards.
I agree with that.
Right.
agree with that.
And being a chick, you sort of can't get past that at a certain point, especially if they've got, wives and girlfriends who are not comfortable with it, even if they,
Sure.
they don't know that I have, the most adorable boyfriend. But, what are you going to say?
But there's also this whole, there's a whole trend I've noticed too about the rules. Everybody is behind the rules. I remember the last time I moved in Marina Del Rey, we had been in the apartment for over 3 years. Good tenants, no complaints, never a late rent. Nothing. Very good tenants, everything good. When we needed to move, we needed our new unit. We had an overlap of 1 month. So we're like, we've been here for, 3.5 years. Can you, cut us some kind of a deal? Let us out just 1 month early. Just let us out 1 month early from the lease. No way, against the rules. It can't be done. If you do it, not only will you owe this rent, but you'll lose your deposit. They just went crazy on us. And I was like, isn't there anything, that, you could take a look individually and say, okay, these people have been good tenants. These people, we had a lot of issues because we were butted up right against the dog park. And that they had never told us that. So we had issues with our cat getting fleas because the fleas from this dog park were literally just blowing up onto our patio. We had noise issues, all this, and we were very good about it. And at the end of the day, they told us, no, we will not work with you in any capacity to make this any easier for you. So we had to wind up double paying, like overlapping, to get the unit that we wanted in the new place, and have to go. And I've noticed that, yeah, and what was odd about it is at the very last minute, somebody where we were living, somebody in that office looked at the whole thing and called us and said, look, we can, waive this, that, or the other. But at that point, we had already paid everybody, done everything was in place. But it seems like the knee-jerk reaction now is always like, just get rid of them. There's no individual service for anybody, or you did a good job, so I'm going to look at you as an individual. It's just very easy. Everything is just the rules. That's it. It's done. And, don't expect anything for good behavior. It isn't rewarded.
Yeah. And I try to be sensitive to my landlords. I've lived in my place for a long time. I mean, we're well over a decade and change here. And I know that, and I'm in a rent-controlled apartment and all that kind of stuff. But, we've had some bad tenants in the building the last 2 years. I think Mike's heard some of those stories. I mean, like legendary bad tenants. Like my friend literally thought that this tenant was dealing pot out of the apartment upstairs and a call girl ring. And given where my apartment is, that's just kind of bizarre and strange in its own right. And I've been a good tenant, and it's like if certain things are wrong, I try to, get it fixed on my own and not put it on them, except the stuff that is really their responsibility, like, major plumbing things and stuff like that. But, I know property taxes have gone up in L.A. and the DWP issue and all that stuff. But, yeah, at a certain point, it's like, cut a good tenant some slack every once in a while would be nice, and
Well, they also
I wasn't even asking for slack.
They
I was
also
just asking to be a good partner.
Right.
maybe want you out too, because you're
rent
rent control. Isn't that always a problem? Like they're always hoping you get out of there.
They say they want me to stay because I'm actually one of the more stable tenants and
Right.
have been good to them, and I don't destroy my apartment.
No, they destroy your apartment and then tell you pay for the paint and pay for the painter.
Exactly.
So, Mike may be onto something. What they say and what they do seem to be two different things, because I would be pitching a fit if I had, the holes. And it seems like even at that point, you're saying, okay, I'll pay for the paint. Okay, you don't want to pay for the painter? Okay, I'll pay for the painter.
Right.
And so it doesn't seem like they do value you.
Yeah, it's interesting, and now we have to get into. My oven hasn't worked in a bunch of months, but of course I haven't been around because of my work schedule for them to fix it. So it'll be interesting to see how that one resolves.
Do you actually cook?
Not very often.
I was gonna say it's LA. Nobody cooks.
I could.
I know. I'm a little bit. Look, I'm not as bad as Carrie Bradshaw. I don't keep books in there for storage and magazines, but
That's some kind of chick
I make
reference.
Thanksgiving dinner once a year.
Oh.
Bacon, bacon in the oven. I know you wouldn't eat that, Mike, but
No.
every once in a while I need some.
This week sucked for that pig. All right. Well, there you go. I think that's a leading caller. Very exciting. Leave your info with Kat, and we will send you a DVD.
Thank you, and it was lovely chatting with both of you.
I
Thank
hope
you
you
for
have
calling
a better
in.
week.
Yeah, let us know next week if you have a better
Yeah.
week, and there you go. But that's why we exist. So now, see, the reason this program exists is because people like Suzanne can call in and complain and feel a little bit cathartic, and other people can listen and go, thank God I'm not her.
Yeah, but see, now I feel worse. No, I feel worse because I came in here to bitch and complain about how I had the same sickness, it sounds like, that Suzanne
Everybody's
had.
got this sickness,
Yeah, except for I laid on my sofa while Travis made
Yeah.
me soup, and then she had like painters and walls and
Yeah.
her dog, and oh my God.
Well, when your place finally gets fully done, invite us on all over, and we'll enjoy your new walls.
Okay, you got a deal.
All right. Thank you for calling.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, there you go. That was a hell
We're
of
not
a
going to
story.
top it. Yeah, we're not going to.
I was going to complain about Amazon.
Yeah, right.
And if you saw my Facebook, Amazon. So I got this new Chromebook, which I really like, by the way. They should sponsor the show. And it's easy to use, and it's great. And so I got it for $249 on Amazon, and then it went down to $219, like 2 weeks later. So I write to Amazon and do the little chat and go, hey, can I get the $30 back? In order to get the $30 back, they are making me. I had to order the $219 one and return the $249 one. I go, isn't that costing them money?
Yeah.
Because they pay for shipping. So
that's
and
kind of the idea. The rules.
I guess
The
they're
rules.
hoping. I guess they're hoping like, you don't want to go all the way down to UPS store, do you? Just keep it.
Oh, they don't know you.
So yeah, so I ordered it, and then I get it, and there's a pixel that's that's off. And if I see 1 pixel, forget it. I'm not keeping that. So then I write to him, and I go again in a chat. I go, so now what do I do? Do I have to return both of them? No, just return the new one we just sent you, and we'll refund the price of the old one. So I'm still keeping the old one. So literally, they sent it to me, and then I send it right back. That seems like a huge waste of money on Amazon's part.
Do you think they might have pulled a refurbished on you? And that's why you had the dead pixel?
No, because it's brand new. Because what I did is I still you get 100 gigs free hard drive. So of course I start up that new one and register for the 100 gigs, which worked.
Okay.
If it was refurbished, it wouldn't have worked. Right. So no, it was brand new, and now I'm returning the brand new one, and I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
But that's another thing about these are the rules. They don't have to make sense or whatever. But and it comes down a lot of times, with T-Mobile, it depends on who you get on the phone or who you get on the chat.
Oh yeah. I should have tried again.
Right.
All right. Well, that was my week suck, which is no big deal. It's just an odd thing for a business to do, and you can hey Bezos, I can save you a bunch of money. Let's talk.
Yeah. But he bought the Washington Post this week.
Well.
Yeah, I don't think he gives a shit about your.
He's wasting money. I'm just saying he's wasting that costs him a couple bucks to ship. He does that with everybody. I could save him a lot of money.
Oh.
All right, so we have a segment now here called. Wait, what do we call it? I said your week. Wait, I had a really good name for it.
After Suzanne, I can't say your week wasn't so bad.
Oh yeah. Your week wasn't so bad, although Suzanne's was. But these are crazy stories from the World Wide Web and the world. These are just weird, wacky stories. I wish we had a sound cue. We need to get some sound. We need to get you a soundboard.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So, all right. So this is like the news. So our first news.
Ooh. Okay.
Your week wasn't so bad, hon. This week sucked with Elaine Ewing on the news.
Okay. Are we done?
All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go with my favorite one first. And we should say with Elaine Ewing, but really these are with Travis Rink.
Yeah.
Because Travis finds these stories.
If you're on Travis's Facebook.
Oh, my God.
This is great. We'll put these stories up on our Facebook because Travis doesn't know you and doesn't want you as a friend.
Yeah, you don't want these people, do you?
No, he's shaking his head no. He doesn't know who you people are. So just, again, Facebook.com, This Week Sucked, and we'll put up all this stuff.
But this one, actually, Travis told this to me, and then he posted it. It's Carol Ann Clare, 70 years old, was in a car accident this week in Michigan.
Oh, God, that's horrible.
Yeah.
All right, well, her week sucked.
Well,
wait, there's more?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all
her
right.
SUV veered off the road.
Well, my point wasn't the accident. She lives in Michigan. It's pretty sucky.
Do you take that personally, Kat?
Very much so, and I agree.
And she also agrees.
It's like, holy cow, you live in Michigan. I mean, I'm sorry, Suzanne, you can't beat that.
Wow.
She lives in Michigan.
Yeah, well.
All right, go ahead.
I don't think her husband made it. I think if Travis, her husband did not make it. So this
her husband died in the accident?
Died in the accident.
Oh.
So I'm feeling sorry for, Carol Ann Clare, and I'm
bad.
saying that's pretty bad.
Yep.
Until I get her backstory. You might remember Carol Ann when she was 14 years old. She and her boyfriend, the infamous Charles Starkweather, if you've ever seen the movie with Sissy Spacek and Martin Sheen, where they kill her family and then go on a cross-country killing
Sissy
spree?
Spacek killed this lady's family?
On film.
Oh, I thought this... Okay, I understand.
On film.
Okay, my bad.
Also, it was reenacted... The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox that Peter Jackson did before he became
so this
huge
woman, this 70-year-old woman, back in her day, killed her entire family?
Well, she and her boyfriend, who was Charles Starkweather,
right.
who, he was the big name. They went on a murder spree in Nebraska, left 11 people dead, including her mother, including her stepfather, including her younger sister, and eventually Starkweather went to the electric chair in 1959.
Yeah.
She, being 14, she served 17 years, got out, and was also the inspiration for the Bruce Springsteen's 1982 song Nebraska.
Okay.
And Travis wishes her a quick and speedy recovery. I see in my notes.
So the week didn't really suck for her. It seemed like it did. So she got in a car accident. Her husband died.
Yeah.
So she finally got paid back.
Huh?
For the other 11 lives.
I don't know. She's still kicking.
She's still 70.
Everybody around this person's week
dead.
sucks. Yeah.
All right. How do we know she didn't kill her husband? How do we know this
don't.
wasn't a fake accident?
We don't.
Although it seems like at 14 she was probably just talked into by this guy and was accomplice.
Which is right. Which is exactly.
And I wonder. I'd like to find out more about her. What's her name again?
Carol Ann Clare.
So I wonder how she how does she live with herself? Were there books about her? Did anybody talk to her? Does she feel bad? You know, that kind of thing.
We'll have to look it up.
All right. So, but she's doing fine. Her husband died in the car accident.
Yeah, but she's doing
And
fine.
she's still in Michigan.
Yeah,
Well.
she's like indestructible.
So that's her. So which is worse? Which is worse, jail or Michigan?
I know. Well, I don't know.
Because I'm watching Orange is the New Black. Jail doesn't look bad. I kind of wish I was in jail.
Yeah.
Because it's like, sit around, read a book, make some friends, kind of like day camp.
Well, that's kind of like upstate New York, minimum security kind of prison.
Right. So what do I need to do to get in there? What do I need to do to, like?
It's like Martha Stewart prison.
Right. I mean, yeah. There's no. You're not. Yeah. I mean, is that how it is?
Money laundering, insider trading.
You need to embezzle something.
Because I don't have a lot of friends in LA and I don't do much, and I'm like, what do we do this weekend? I don't know. Nobody wants to do anything. But if I'm in prison, it looks like there's things to do.
That's true. But if you want to get into that prison, believe me, California prisons, I don't know of any California prisons like that. So you'd really, although you do always bitch about wanting to go back east, changing of
probably,
the leaves.
Yeah, probably a nice, yeah. You're out in the,
Yeah.
I mean, they were out in the yard there, and you saw I don't want to give away any spoilers, but there were leaves.
Yep, there were leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, squirrels, little furry creatures.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. Next story number 2. We need sound drops.
Well, yeah, this kind of leads into what we were talking about prison. I guess, it depends on the state. Upstate New York, nice. New Jersey, maybe not so nice. 33-year-old Manhattan woman, her name is Phoenix Feely, refused to pay an $816 fine for going topless at a public beach. She had to spend 16 days in jail in New Jersey, and she was quoted as saying it was like receiving a death sentence. So New Jersey, maybe, not so good.
So that's it? Her week sucked because she took her top off and ended up in jail?
Yes. She, although she said it was like a death
Real
sentence.
Real or fake?
But I don't know. But she doesn't seem to learn her lesson because this was her second arrest for indecent exposure. She also is a fire eater who has worked with a number of circuses in the New York area.
So she's one of these hipsters with tattoos.
Yes.
But my question is, that's what I was going to ask, is she one of these, like, when you go to the nude beach, these old, creepy, ugly, weird people you don't want to see?
I think
or she's like the tattoo chick who
Yeah.
also, like, I'm burlesque.
Right. Well, the way I read this is she's a 33-year-old Manhattanite. So having to spend 16 days in jail in New Jersey was
so
like
she probably lives in
receiving a
Brooklyn
death.
or something, right?
Just go to Burning Man. Just go to Burning
Right,
Man.
it's true. You get naked at Burning
You can be
Man.
naked all you want.
I
There
want to
you
go to
go.
Burning Man.
I do
Go,
not.
eat fire, be topless. Like, there's a time and a place for that.
Well, I don't want to go topless. I haven't worked out in a while.
Well,
All right.
So there we go.
Story number 3.
Ooh, story number 3. Okay. Now, I don't know who this story sucks for. Well, I guess it sucks if you work at a fast food chain anyway, at a fast food restaurant. Your week kind of probably
general.
always sucks. But this week, Tina Dewan of Quincy, Massachusetts, punched out a food shop employee for putting too many pickles on her cheesesteak sandwich.
Quincy is when you do the Boston accent thing. Quincy has the worst Boston accent. I remember in grad school there was this really attractive girl, and she was from there, and the accent is so like it's the worst
It's
accent
like
you'll ever hear.
that commercial that's driving me crazy right now.
The Hopper
The
one?
Hopper. Yeah,
It's
the
worse.
Hopper.
It's worse than that because now add the female with a little bit of a whine to it. Quincy does have the worst Boston accent ever. Like there's
okay.
the Boston accent, and then there is the Quincy accent. And those guys are all working class, tough guys. So yeah, sure to put. So the woman who ordered it punched out the person who made it.
The woman who ordered it was 49
Sounds
years
like something
old.
Cat
She
would
wasn't
do.
a kid. 49-year-old woman. She demanded a refund because she had too many pickles. When the girl behind the
Too
counter
many pickles. That would seem good. They
Right,
give her
too.
extra.
pickles.
Plus, I always say too many, take them off.
Right, that's easy. It's
Yeah.
not like they put mayonnaise on the sandwich.
Right.
Then I'd be like,
Or
what the
no
F?
pickles. And they're like, I want my
Exactly.
pickles.
Yeah, you
Right.
ain't getting no pickles.
Right. But when they refused to give her a new sandwich because of the pickles, she punched the counter girl in the face and then shoved 2 heavy jars of pickles in her face.
Ah! How did she get the pickles?
I have
She just
no
jumped
idea.
over the counter?
I don't know.
What was the name of the? What kind of place was this? What was the name of the place?
It doesn't say.
It sounds like
say,
a
yeah.
like a Jersey Mike's or
Quiznos
something.
Or like
Yeah.
a Subway.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, well, here's the thing. It wouldn't have been like. Well, I guess it could have been like a Jersey Mike's or something like that because you can't really get to the pickles, but they're
Right.
behind.
I've never been to a Jersey Mike's. Is that good?
Yes. Well, you would have to have the veggie sandwich, but yeah.
Oh, that's what I
it's
get.
good. Yeah.
It's still not a grinder like in Connecticut. You can't get that anywhere. But
Right.
Quiznos is
It's
close,
as
but not really.
close as I've seen, but now there's a market. I don't even want to give the name of it in Culver City because everyone's going to go and
Nobody
have
goes
to
to
stand
Culver
in line.
City. It's impossible to get to.
Okay, great. Okay, so Sorrento's Italian Deli in Culver City, it kicks ass.
Oh, I'm going there tonight.
yeah, it's
Let me jump on the
delicious.
405 to the 10 and take an hour and a half to
You
go
mean like
10
I
miles.
do to come here? Yeah, like I do to come to
Well,
Streamin' Garage.
I had to build a studio somewhere.
I guess so.
Is that the news?
That's the news.
That is the news with Elaine Ewing.
I don't know how to make a news.
All right,
news
well,
sticker.
so what did we learn this week? We learned that if you kill somebody, eventually it may catch up with you in your car.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. It took her 70 years. Well,
Huh?
it took her 60
She
years.
is still kicking. Everyone else is dead.
Everyone else is dead.
Everyone else is dead.
We learned that, speaking of killing people, you're not missing much by not having Showtime, because Dexter, I'm not impressed. And I'm not just saying that because they didn't pay us to do Stupid for Dexter.
Right.
Well, maybe that's a little
Yeah.
bit. They should have paid us. And Suzanne is definitely the winner. Because she, I mean, other than the husband who was married to the killer who then got killed in a car accident, I think Suzanne's had the worst week.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Although his week's, he won't have a bad next week.
No, he will not.
And so there you go. That's This Week Sucked. Join us every week. Hopefully, we're going to try to start doing this weekly. Drag Elaine all the way over from her end of the town.
So my week sucks.
So Elaine's week sucks. She's got to come here and entertain you people.
Yeah.
But we appreciate it. Kat, you're going to get the music ready for us. Again, like us on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll be live here on YouTube, so feel free to subscribe. We got a bunch of new shows coming up. I got a new show called Kids Court with
Yeah.
Andy Kindler. That's going to be coming up soon on the Nerdist channel, so Streaming Garage is streaming along and having fun, and this is just kind of our fun little extra thing we do. But we got a lot of shows coming up, so keep an eye out on all social media for that.
Thanks to Travis and Adam.
Yes, Travis on the sound, Adam on TriCaster, and helping set up this whole crazy new Streaming Garage 2.0.
It looks incredible.
Stick around, Stupid for Movies will be coming soon. Trust me. If not, then you'll really be hearing me bitch when I'm allowed to legally. That's it. Thank you so much. Play us out, Kat. It's always that delay. It's always that delay.
There we go.
It's always that delay. Thanks a lot, everybody.